Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the ESC Scot YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the 10 things that I want to see at Eurovision 2024. So without further ado, let's play the intro. Now, I have accumulated a list of 10 specific things that I would like to see at Eurovision 2024. I have actually done this video before. I did it last year discussing the 2023 edition, and I'm very happy to say that I did see some of the things I wanted to see in Liverpool. I wanted equal involvement of UK and Ukraine. Definitely got that. I wanted better postcards and better hosts, and I mean, I think the postcards were probably the best we've ever seen, and the hosts, the host, don't know what that was. Hannah Waddingham has become an absolute icon because of Eurovision. Like, they were perfect. They were absolutely perfect, all four of them. It definitely seemed like the BBC had listened to the fans, so let's hope that SVT have their ears pointed up and they're ready to listen. So let's not wait any longer. Here are the 10 things that I want to see at Eurovision 2024. Number 1. At least 40 participating countries. I mean, 2 years ago, having 40 countries participating in Eurovision was a given. It was happening. But now we're sat here wondering if we're even going to get 36. It's like, it's so weird. I am being a little bit dramatic here. I think we are going to get more than 36. It has been a concern though for the past few years. As of right now as I'm sat here, so far 30 countries have confirmed their participation. Obviously we know Luxembourg is returning, but who else might we expect to return in May? I personally think North Macedonia and Montenegro are going to return. I don't know why, I just have this weird feeling that they're going to come back. They withdrew due to financial issues, and I have a feeling if there are going to be extra countries added in this year, that the participation fee is going to be lowered, so hopefully they're going to have enough to join. So I think they will be back. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm really hoping that they do return, because they sent good entries and the contest is missing something without them. But there's also been rumours about Monaco returning after an 18-year absence. But if we assume that every country that competed in 2023 comes back in 2024, and if we also assume that North Macedonia, Montenegro and Luxembourg rejoin, that's 41 participants. I mean, how amazing would that be to have 41 countries compete again after a year that we only had 37? That would mean that we would have 18 compete in semi-final 1, or 17 compete in semi-final 1, or 18 compete in semi-final 2, or 17 compete in semi-final 2. Don't know what the EBU will choose. Yeah, so I would really love to see some extra countries rejoin the competition, or even some debuts. You never know what's going to happen with Eurovision. Egypt could prop up and say, I want to join, so you never know. Number 2, now this might be a really unpopular opinion. I'm scared to say it, because there are definitely some people that are really against this, but I would really love to see the return of the juries in the semi-finals. I just personally think they are really needed in the competition. I'm all for changing things up for a year to see if they work or not, but I don't really think that the 100% televote rule in the semi-finals is a good idea. Now, I think there were a good few countries that missed out on a place in the grand final because the juries weren't present. I mean, Latvia were so going through if the juries were there. I think Georgia would have had a better chance as well. Now, obviously Malta gets more points from the jury than the televote, so I think they would have had an extra few points if the juries were there. I think the juries would have sided with Netherlands as well. I think Netherlands would have got a good few points. I just don't see the point of having a 100% televote result. I think if they keep the 100% televote rule, I think it's going to be damaging to the contest in the coming years. Yes, there wasn't much difference last year. Just think, if the EBU are willing to have 100% televote in the semi-finals, I don't think they would hesitate to have them in the grand final either. All you have to do is go watch the contest between 2003 and 2008 to realise why 100% televote is just not a good idea in the grand final. Also, just to add, I don't think San Marino and Romania would have walked away from the semi-final with 0 points if there were juries as well. No country deserves 0 points in any circumstance whatsoever. That's why there is a jury vote and the public vote. It gives all the songs a chance at getting at least 1 point. It's what they deserve. Just 1 point. So it's safe to say I'm on board with the juries returning. I think it is necessary. Maybe not this year. I don't think the EBU are going to bring them back this year. Hopefully in the near future we'll get them back. Numero 3. I want to see all of the big 5 on the left hand side of the board. Or I could rephrase that to, I want the UK, Spain and Germany to not fuck up. I weirdly feel like I can count on France and Italy in sending some equality, but when it comes to the other three, I'm just not confident. So we'll talk about the UK first. The UK just lost Tap Music, and they helped the BBC choose their representative for the past 2 years with May Muller and Sam Ryder. Now obviously Sam got second place, and he put so much happiness into the hearts of the UK Eurovision fans. Spaceman was exactly what the UK needed, and Tap was responsible for a lot of it. Now May did not get the result that any of us really wanted. 25th place, at least she wasn't last. I tell myself that, at least she wasn't last. But I do think there was a huge difference from us coming bottom 5 between 2018 to 2021 to 2023. I personally think we placed bottom 5 in 2018, 2019 and 2021 because the songs sucked. All of these songs were something I'd expect to see as like a contestant's winner single on like the X Factor or something. They just weren't competitive whatsoever, and they had no wow factor about them, so fair enough. They came bottom 5. But the difference between they songs and I Wrote a Song was that I Wrote a Song was a really good tune. It was such a good song. It had that wow factor, and it represented the kind of music that we hear today in the charts. I'm almost sure it got top 10 in the official charts here, and I'm sure it charted all over Europe as well. So it's been proven it's not a bad song. It's definitely not a bad song. I would have pinned the reason for the bad result on the staging and May's vocals, obviously. I have heard some people say the staging was actually quite decent. Personally, I just don't think so. I don't think it was very good. To me, it just looked really clunky, if you know what I mean. I like the idea of the platform that she's standing on and the dancers. I just don't think it was executed in the right way. So as UK Eurovision fans, all we can do is sit and cross our fingers and hope that this year the BBC deliberately tried to fail as they were hosting. As for Spain, it's a very similar situation to the UK. A great result in 2022 with Chanel, a mediocre result in 2023 with Blanca Paloma, and now Eva Mora, the head of delegation for Spain since 2021. She's actually been replaced with Ana Maria Bordas. Now Ana was the head of delegation between 2017 and 2021, but during that period, if you can remember, Spain just did not do well in the competition at all. So I pray and I hope that this change of head of delegation is not a step in the wrong direction. They are keeping Benidorm Fest, which obviously is a good sign to me. In Germany, poor Germany, I mean, what more could Lord of the Lost done to avoid last place? Really, realistically, what could they have done? They really didn't deserve that. It just wasn't justified. Since 2013, the only time that Germany's actually made it onto the left-hand side of the board was in 2018 when they came 4th. Most of the time, it does seem that Germany just really doesn't act like they care about the contest, really. They have sent really bland songs with no backbone, and then they sit and wonder what went wrong. That's the most annoying bit about Germany. Ireland do it as well, but there have also been times where they've sent quality and they haven't been rewarded. Now there has been rumours that NDR, Germany's national broadcaster, will be leaving Eurovision in 2025, most likely meaning that a new broadcaster will take over. So to me that sounds like a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. A change might be what Germany's actually needing. But for 2024, I really want to see Germany just send a safe pop song, and with like an up and coming artist, and guarantee yourself like mid-table. It's all I want to see for Germany. Hopefully they can get to the left hand side of the board. I think that's all we hope for Germany now. If they don't come last, they've made an improvement. Number 4, this is really, it's quite a specific one, but I know there's a lot of other people that want this too. I desperately want a woman to win Sanremo and represent Italy. The last time a woman represented Italy, I mean, it's been that long I can't fucking remember. It was 2016 with Francesca. Come on. It's been a while. Since the return to the contest in 2011, they've sent a total, get this, of 4 women. Only 4. That's including Victoria from Måneskin. And then get this, they've actually sent 16 men. 16 to 4 women. That's including all the men from the groups and the duos. But I also feel like I should mention that the last 2 times Italy was represented by a woman, they got 16th and 21st place. And all the men cracked the top 10. All of them. This is since 2013, 2012, I don't know. It was, no, 2014, I think 2014. Because in 2014 and 2016 they came 16th and 21st, and then all the rest of the time they were represented by men, and they came top 10. It's iffy, but like, I mean, if it's working for them, it does seem really odd though that when they send a woman they don't do very well, but when they send a man they guarantee top 10. Nevertheless, it's been 8 years since Italy sent a woman. Try again, Italy, with a female. You never know, might work out. Just have an all-female Sanremo and will be happy. They are mad statistics though, like it's mad. Right, okay, number 5. This is really specific again, and I'm going to explain why I've said this. Let the producers know the results of the semi-finals before they make up the running order of the grand final. As I say, this is really specific. I'll try and explain it in the best way. So I've always assumed that the producers do know the outcome of the semi-finals before they start creating the running order for the final. But it was revealed a few weeks ago that they don't actually know how countries placed in the semi-finals before they make up the running order. Now I say this because Austria, Tia and Selena, was a huge fan favourite before the final. Like, I really love the song. I still listen to it today, and I think it possibly had the potential to be top 5, possibly. Austria came second in their 100% televote semi-final with 137 points, just missing out on winning their semi. Australia won it with 149 points, just a 12-point difference, not much. So if you were looking at the results of the semi-final too, then you would, it was quite clear that Austria were destined to do quite well in the final. It was obvious. That is until they got put first in the running order by the producers. But now I know that the producers don't actually know where each country placed in their semi. It makes sense now why they chose Austria to open. I mean, it's so fun, it's super unique, it's so easy to dance to, it's a perfect opener. But I never would have put Who the Hell is Edgar opening if I knew they had done that well in the semi-finals. I mean, you could have had Poland opening. They drew first half. You could have had Serbia opening if you were desperate. Portugal, you could have chose Portugal as well. Portugal was drawn in the first half. So I think Tia and Selena missed out on a potential top 10 or even top 5 because of the running order. So I do think producers need to know the outcome of the semi-finals before they start to make up the running order for the grand final. It's necessary. And for the people saying, well, how do you know Austria would have done that well with a better running order in the grand final? Because look at their jury score. They got over 100 points with the jury, and that was coming first in the running order. So imagine if they were like 13th or 12th in the running order, because they did draw first half. Imagine if they were just that tad bit later. They would have got at least 90 or 100 points from the televote. That's 200 points. And they probably would have got more from the jury as well, because they were more memorable, because they were later on in the running order. It's the people that say the running order doesn't matter. People say it's like, it doesn't matter that much. It matters. It matters a whole lot. Right, okay, moving on. Number 6. I am desperately hoping for Latvia, Ireland, and San Marino, and I'm going to add Georgia as well. I hope they all qualify for the grand final. I'm desperately hoping. I mean, all of these countries have made mistakes in the past few years. Obviously, it's blatantly obvious that they've made mistakes. But there is something inside me saying that it's going to be their year next year, hopefully. I mean, I think Latvia, I mean, they're on a 6 non-qualification streak. I hope that they get it. They deserve it the most, I think, really. They honestly should have qualified with Aya and Sudden Lights last year. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of the song, the performance was worthy of a place in the final. Supernova last year had some really quality entries, so all they have to do is keep it up and choose the right song, and hopefully the end result is the first qualification in 6 years. Oh, Ireland. Irish Euro fans, please don't be offended when I say this. Your country's shite at Eurovision. They don't know how to do it. I'm joking. Well, I'm not, but you know what I mean. I think there is a huge problem with the Irish delegation at the moment, and the head of delegation, Michael Keeley. It's just like they're not learning from their mistakes, and one of their huge mistakes is keeping that awful national final. It's okay, obviously, it's okay doing a national final, but you at least have to throw some money at it. I think it was announced that RTE spent €340,000 on Eurovision 2023. Now, I don't know if that's including the staging of Eurosong or not, but if it isn't, then wow. If it is, then where is all that money going? Like, the songs we had to select from last year, they weren't actually bad. Some of them I really enjoyed. Too Good For Your Love by Ajay was a really good song. Layla Jane and Wild was a great song as well. I think that was actually my favourite up until the live performance. And then we can't forget about Midnight Summer Night as well. Like, that was an amazing song. That was superb. Connolly performed that perfectly on the night. But then most of the songs, when they were performed live, were horrible because of that stupid, small studio with the worst acoustics on the bloody planet. And then when it came down to the result, Connolly didn't even win it. I'm telling you right now, if Connolly was sent to Eurovision instead of Wild Youth, it would have qualified. Not only would it have qualified, I personally think think it would have made the left hand side of the board. It was a great song. It would have been the best Ireland since Lipstick. The way Ireland is choosing their acts, or even choosing who goes into Eurosong, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And the most worrying thing is the delegation isn't seeing that and they're not learning from their mistakes. It's actually gotten that bad in Ireland that Irish people actually expect to non-qualify before the competition has even begun. And the viewing figures for the final are going up. They're not going down, they're going up, even though they're not in the final. That's really worrying. That's so worrying. Ireland need to change their ways quickly, or they're going to end up just withdrawing, because they're consistently not doing well and spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of euros on acts that are just not qualifying. So they're just going to end up withdrawing. Now they have started accepting submissions for next year on the website, so that does make me think that the national final is returning once again. But all they have to do is pick 6 songs that are very varied and make sure they all have a certain star quality about them. I so want Ireland to do well again, and I hold out hope, I do hold out hope that it will happen in 2024. I'm crossing my fingers yet again. And it's the same for San Marino. There were a good few problems with the Voce per San Marino last year. The main problem is they focused on quantity over quality. I really struggled to sit through that whole show listening to song after song, after talking, after another song, and then more talking, and then the result, and it was just like, it was overkill. There was too many meh songs and not enough wow. But yeah, that doesn't mean that there was no good songs in the selection. I mean, I think Runella's song was actually quite good and probably was their best chance at qualifying. One day there will be a day when San Marino comes top 10 at Eurovision. It will happen. I mean, they have sent good songs in the past and they haven't been rewarded yet. They just, it's sad. I mean, their best result was with Serhat in 2019. They got 19th with Se Na Na Na. And I mean, I'm crossing everything that they can finally send something that we can all be proud of. So let's all be hopeful for Latvia, Ireland, San Marino and Georgia. Let's hope Georgia can make it out the semi-finals next year as well. I'm going to do a separate video about Georgia, that's why I've not really mentioned them, but I'm going to do a separate video. Number 7. This is a really cliche opinion that a lot of people don't like, the Eurofans saying this, but I'm going to say it, so cover your ears. I'm almost sure that I asked for this last year as well. I want more countries to sing in their native language. I've actually went back and looked through the entries in 2019, 2021, 2022 and 2023 to see how many countries chose to sing in English. So in 2019, 28 out of 41 countries sung in English. In 2021, 29 countries out of 39 sung in English. In 2022, only 25 out of 40 sung in English. And then in 2023, 23 out of 27 countries chose to sing in English. So out of all 157 songs that we've had in the past 4 contests, only 52 of them sung in a native language. Now obviously we expect Australia and the UK to send songs in English because that is their native language, but so many countries are now consistently sending songs in English, which is fine. It's great. If they're happy doing that and the broadcasters are happy doing that, then great. Fine. But there are certain few countries that haven't sent a song in their own language in a long time. Like Sweden. Sweden has not sent a song in Swedish since 1998. Now that's 25 years ago. Hopefully now that Sweden are hosting Eurovision this year, maybe they can afford to take a big risk and send a song in Swedish. Obviously it has to win Melodifestivalen first, so maybe we just need some more Swedish songs in Melodifestivalen. There was a few last year that were really good, so hopefully if we get more of them, they have a better chance to get to Eurovision, and then we're all happy. Another country that was really used to singing in English a lot was Finland. But obviously this year with Karaja getting their 2nd best result ever at Eurovision with a song in Finnish. So let's keep it up, Finland, sing another song in Finnish and hopefully win it. Now it does seem that it's the Nordic countries that send songs in English the most. Like Norway hasn't sent a song in Norwegian since 2006. It's that group of 3 Nordic countries that have the most beautiful languages in the world, and it seems like they're afraid to send a song in that language. It's so weird. And also Ireland. Ireland need to send a song in Irish pronto. That would qualify. If they just sent a really shit song in Irish, I think that would qualify, because it's such a beautiful language. Everyone loves listening to it. It's amazing. So I am holding out hope that more countries are going to send songs in their native language this year. Number 8. I really don't want a shorter grand final. It was announced a good few weeks ago that SVT are aiming to shorten the runtime of the grand final from 4 hours to 3 hours. Now I understand that 4 hours for a TV show is ridiculously long. It's long. However, Eurovision is only on for 1 week of the year and a lot of people really look forward to it. I know some people that would actually say 4 hours isn't enough. They want more Eurovision, but I can agree 4 hours is a bit excessive. I mean, there is certain things that SVT and the EBU can cut to shorten the runtime a little bit. I do not know how they're going to shorten the grand final by 1 whole hour. It isn't possible. There were rumours that they were planning to scrap the flag parade. Now, I personally think the flag parade is an important part of the grand final. It gives off like an Olympics vibe, and I think the show really needs that, but I don't actually think they're going to scrap the flag parade in the end. I think that's not happening. I think it is going ahead. Obviously, less interval acts will mean a shorter runtime, but that would also mean that the voting window is open for a shorter amount of time as well. I personally would have less recaps. I mean, there was way too many of them. Last year, they had 3 recaps of all 26 of the songs, and each of the recaps lasted more than 10 minutes. You don't need 3 of them. You really don't need 3 recaps. So I think it would be possible to shorten the grand final from 4 hours to maybe 3.5 hours, but you're not going to shorten it by a whole hour. That's just not happening. And if it does happen, they're going to have to cut out some major parts of the grand final that people are going to really miss. Number 9. That was it. Number 9. We want the green room in the arena. I only just realised how important it is to have the green room in the arena when I was at the final live in Liverpool. The reaction from the crowd when the artist approaches the green room after their performance, it's just so sweet. It's an amazing feeling. It just made me realise how important it is to have the fans so close at that point when they like have finished their performance, and it's that like adrenaline rush. It's so important to have that kind of connection with the artists, and also being so close to the artists when the points are coming in is an amazing feeling as well. Seeing their face just light up, obviously seeing the faces that are like, but seeing the faces that are like, I've just got 12 points, I'm so excited, I could possibly win this, it's so important. Now, the last time Sweden hosted was in 2016 in Stockholm in the Globen, and they did have the green room in the arena, and obviously they hosted in 2013 in the same arena that will host the 2024 contest in Malmo, and in that contest they didn't have the green room in the arena. The green room was in like a separate part of the arena, I think, which I'm just not a huge fan of anymore. I mean, I thought it was okay in the past, but just I'd rather the green room in the arena now. So given that they are hosting the show in the same arena as they did in 2013, are they not going to have the green room in the arena again? Are they going to have the green room in the arena? They're going to change it up a little bit. I guess it is all about the stage design and how SVT and the EBU think it's going to look, but I am crossing my fingers and hoping that the green room is going to be in the arena. And finally, number 10, I would say I've saved the most important for last. I want a more open final. There was no point at the voting this year that made me or anyone else around me sit at the edge of their seat. Once Loreen had a lead of almost double than the second place, we all knew it was over. Yeah, there was a bit of tension when it was down to Loreen and Kaarija, but I think all of us knew that Loreen had it. Although it was still a close call, but we knew Loreen was going to win. I know it's not anyone's fault if a country wins the show with an amazing score and runs away with it, but I want a final where there isn't a clear frontrunner. It's been a few years now since we've had a final where we don't really have a clue who's going to win it. In 2022, it was quite clear Ukraine was going to do it, and in 2023, Loreen was like 50% with the bookies, so it was quite crystal clear that she was going to win as well. 2021, I think, was the last year where I didn't really have a clue who was going to win before I started watching the final. I thought France had a good chance, Switzerland too, I even thought Iceland could do it at one point, and then Italy was in my mind as well. So that was a really open final. Like, there was 4 countries in my head that I thought, oh, any of them could do it. I want another final exactly like that. I hope we're going to get it this year. No one really likes watching the voting when it is obvious who's going to win. There's no tension, so let's just hope and pray that every country is as good as each other next year and we don't have to worry about that. I also quickly just wanted to mention another thing regarding hosts. If Farah Abadi and Sarah Dawn Finer are not a part of the lineup of the host this year, I will be pissed. I mean, Farah's just done so well at Melody Festival, and Sarah should have had her chance at Eurovision the past 2 times Sweden has hosted it. They really deserve a chance, both of them, because they've got such good personalities and they are absolutely perfect for Eurovision. But yeah, I think that's it. I finally got through it. I think that's nearly an hour of filming, but I've got through it. They are the 10 things that I wanted to see at Eurovision 2024. But have I missed anything that you want to see at Eurovision next year? If there is, comment down below, tell me, and I will discuss with you. I'll comment back. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton, an absolute ton, so please help me out and subscribe. There is so much more Eurovision content coming up in the next few months. Obviously, Junior Eurovision is coming up, so more videos are coming about that in the next few weeks. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. My camera battery is so running out, it's flashing at me, so I need to stop. It's telling me to stop. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.